Bob Edenbow here. Going to share a little bit today about my own journey with depression. This is the Songwriters Journal, so I talk here about all my adventures in becoming a performing singer-songwriter, my journey to get heard and be out there where I'm accessible. And I think probably my biggest unique thing that I do on this podcast, vlog, whatever the hell it is I share both my successes and my failures. So the journey with depression is a little bit of both, really. There's a lot to unpack when you start talking about depression and how it affects your musical career. The biggest thing, of course, is how it hurts, and you don't get as much done as you would like to do. So the effects of how it works on me. For those that don't know, by the way, the Songwriters Journal here it's just a pet project I have that I'm doing. In addition to my music, you can certainly find me out there on Instagram, and I have an album out on Spotify and all the platforms, Alexa, Siri, and whoever you listen to your music on. So please check me out. So I'm not going to go back to the beginning here, and I'm not going to get into people that have come and gone in my life and how they've affected me. I'm just going to talk about how this affects where I'm at right now and what I'm doing. So one of the things is, I think they call it anhedonia. You don't enjoy doing the things you love. It makes me apathetic towards myself. It makes me not want to do anything. Literally lay in bed or lay on the couch, a lot of napping, a lot of eating. So the lack of exercise and the overeating leads to I'm overweight. Being overweight makes me feel bad about myself. There's a vicious circle there. The other thing I would say is it causes physical pain. I feel it in my muscles. Maybe a little bit in the joints, but it's really a muscular kind of pain. I know that sounds like fibromyalgia, but it's not. It's depression. Some of it's just sitting around too long and not moving and stretching the muscles. It's not necessarily a mental thing causing the pain throughout my body. It's just an effect that happens as a result of no motivation. I'm still able to get up and go to work. Sometimes I'm like cutting into work right at the last second or a minute late. But when I'm there, I'm pretty much in high gear, on my A game as much as possible. I did notice this week it got so bad I was not quite on my A game. But usually work, my nursing career, is a positive place for me to be. It hasn't always been that way in my life. I hated it for a long time, especially when I was in med-surg in the hospital. It is a little different now. I'm in a supervisor role, and I kind of got to write my own ticket and how I was going to be a advocate for my folks that I supervise, and that makes me feel really good. It makes me really feel good to be involved with the residents and be a connector. That's an important role for me. I love being a connector. I know who does what, how to get things done, who to talk to, who to give this paper to, who to call to address this thing to make things happen, and that makes me feel good. But back to music now. Music is my passion. It's like your career, to me, shouldn't be your life, and I never wanted it to be that. It was really just a matter of I'm looking now, I've still got loops and crap in my hair. I didn't really get ready for this video. It's like, just throw it together and get it out there, man. Normally I dress up a little bit like a performer, but kind of forcing myself to make this happen here, and it's not that bad. It doesn't feel bad at all. It's just a little different for me. Um, but in terms of what was I talking about? The music and um, it's doesn't feel good doing the music when I'm in the state, because after I get out of work, I gotta like hype myself up to get there. The hype is gone by the time I drive home. I'll be driving home thinking I'm gonna practice, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna do all this, walk the dogs. And I come home and I eat and um, literally nap, or the night's wasted. Nothing happens. Not even housework. Like when I'm in that state, dishes pile up. The house looks like a teenager's bedroom. Laundry doesn't get done. Funny, this last week I was so bad I washed the same load of laundry like 3 times, but I could never seem to get it transferred into the dryer. So then it sits for a day and it gets stinky, so you have to wash it again. Um, bleh. Songwriting. Let's see what I had in my notes here. Yeah, I have been writing. Been writing fairly good bit, um, which is weird because I'm not particularly motivated in so many ways. But I've still turned out. My goal was to write 10 songs in the month of July, and I think I got pretty close, if not hitting it. The problem is I don't learn these songs. I don't internalize them or keep. I can't perform them. Honestly, I would look at the paper and not know what the hell that song melody was if I didn't record them. I record my songs in voice memos on my phone. This is Marshall, by the way. He's my good boy. Yes. He loves the love. I did write one for today, though, kind of on the theme of the depression thing. I've been sort of tackling that theme over and over again in some of the songs that I've been writing lately. I've also made several attempts where I really wanted to try to write and use that as a means to heal myself, and I just wasn't able to go anywhere with it. I really, really had to fight hard to get up, to get near a guitar and some paper, and but there was nothing there. It just wouldn't happen. Um, yeah, it was frustrating. Practice is kind of the same thing. So it's like it takes too much effort, and I know I've kind of lost some of my ability to play some of the songs that were in my repertoire. And I had well over 100 songs, 120 cover songs in my repertoire. Plus, I have the 11 that are on the album, and I'm not even sure if I'd feel comfortable trying to play all 11 of those songs in front of people. I'd need to brush up on them a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't take long to lose your polish, to fall away from your A game, and then it's sort of embarrassing to play in front of people. As far as booking goes, I have not sent out any booking requests in quite a while. And they've been fairly successful. I mean, I've booked 4 gigs this summer. Yeah, 2 at Sherman's Creek, the one pickup at the last second, and then there was the one out at this place a little south of where I live here. Yeah, I had 4 gigs this summer. I just played the last one, so I'm going to touch on that in a minute. You know, I do want to mention, though, if I actually got a gig, what would happen if I got a gig? I don't have my A game. I can't deliver the goods because they're not practicing. A little bit of the skill kind of slowly erodes away when you're not practicing. It doesn't take long. It's not like I completely don't practice. It's just not up to my A game. I'll go several days at a time, maybe a week, without touching the guitar. That's just not acceptable. Not for someone who wants to be a professional musician. It won't fly. Now, that said, I'd climbed up the hill and built myself a certain amount of skill, even knocking it down a couple notches. I'm still capable. I built a level of competence, and I earned that. You never want to dial it in. You always want to really put on a good show and make it worthwhile of the audience. But at the same time, you don't want to give up what you do. I don't want to give up what I'm striving for, what my dream is, and that's my goal. So I will share just a little bit about um, my last gig. It was out at Sherman's Creek. These people have been really good to me. They actually gave me 3 gigs this summer. One got rained out, but the other 2 went really well. And the second one was last night. Now, I really hadn't practiced much, and I realized all of a sudden, oh shucks, that gig is this weekend. I really need to start practicing and try to whip myself into shape. I, over the course of the week, was able to run at least a verse and a chorus from each of the songs that were on my set list that I made. I made a set list. That in itself is a good bit of effort. I based it on songs that I thought I had practiced at least recently enough that I'd have a shot at delivering in front of an audience. By delivering, I'm talking about trying to play it from beginning to end without stopping or, forgetting the lyrics or looking really, really terrible, I didn't necessarily deliver what I wanted to deliver, but I've heard so many times from so many artists, especially folks that do their own podcasts and give advice on performing, that so much of the performance is that you've made an effort, and people really are rooting for you, and they enjoy it. Folks that enjoy live music really enjoy it. I know there's a group of people that just want to hear a DJ or whatever play a playlist off of some DSP or whatever. But those that come to see live music enjoy it, and you really owe it to them to play at least a verse and a chorus. And they'll forgive you if you forget a line or flub it. I know I repeated a couple lines. I know I forgot a verse in a song. I didn't quite have the chord progression down in the song. A couple of my cover songs, like Take On Me and Tennessee Whiskey, they require a higher voice. I haven't been training my voice, doing my voice exercises, so I kind of quieted down and backed away from the microphone, which is not really delivering the goods, but it's still connecting with the audience enough. They want to hear that song. Maybe they're singing along. Hopefully they're enjoying it. To me, though, it's a failure, to be honest with you, but there was a bigger thing at stake here. I wasn't out there as a faker. I was out there as a guy who was really, really struggling and trying his damnedest. So even though it's, as a professional, that's a failure, as a human being, that's a real big success that I got out there and did that. So I'm happy I did that. The other thing is, I got nothing but good comments from everyone, from the bartender to many of the audience members. I don't know that there was more than a dozen people there, but quite a lot of them went out of their way to say hey to me and that they really enjoyed it. I had a nice voice, that sort of thing. I had at least one person comment on their favorite song I had done, and they really enjoyed that. So I guess the takeaway from that is I really need to get out of my own way. You get so much in your head about, I don't want to suck. Maybe I shouldn't even do it. And I was thinking about options to get out of the gig. Could I get someone to sub for me? I don't even have a contact at the place to call. The guy that books me isn't usually there whenever I'm playing, I guess. And I tried to call him one time because the road was shut down, and I don't know how to get there, and you're so far out in the boonies that my GPS isn't even helping me out here. It's got no reception. But he didn't answer, so fortunately I was able to find my way there and get set up and play on time. That was a couple months ago that happened. But yeah, I have no contact like to say I'm subbing out. I got someone else coming in for me, you know. And I definitely can't be a no call, no show. That's just not me. I don't do that ever to anyone. I'd rather go and suck than pull that stunt. But all these things had crossed my mind. My paper here with my notes on it blew away. Give me 1 second. Running my mouth and not paying attention. I am outdoors and there is a light breeze coming through. Um, so today's song, what did I write? I wrote a song. It's called One Sunrise Away. The sun going up and down is something that has kind of been playing in my head for a few days. I actually, a few days ago, had written just about 3 lines about laying in bed, watching. It was literally what happened that day. I had watched the sun go down through the window, and probably didn't sleep much at all overnight. Just I was wide awake. I don't know when I went to bed. 6 p.m. And there was so much of the day left. It's summertime. The sun doesn't go down till 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. But I laid in bed and wasted my whole day away watching that sun go down, and in and out of sleep throughout the night. And then the sun came up, and I just laid there. I don't even remember if it was the day I had to go to work. Might have been a day off. I don't know. A lot of my days off have been completely wasted just with naps. I've mentioned that. So those lines I did incorporate into this song. It's the beginning of the song, and I think I'd like to frame it and have that be the end of the song as well. I did write this a little different, so it's kind of weird. I wanted to share that with you. Normally I would start playing and writing lyrics as I'm playing. This time I came out here on the back porch, which is where I'm sitting now, and just picked up the guitar and started working on a pick pattern. I wanted it to be a finger picking song I did today. I came up with the idea of playing with the first chord and some walk up, walk down kind of feel to it, which I wound up building the melody around later. And once I had a rough progression, I started trying to write lyrics. Started here on the back porch. I wrote at least 2 verses. Think a thought would come to me. It would just be a line. Once I got a line, I could usually add another line or 2 to it after I wrote it down. I was getting on time to have breakfast. It's Sunday, so I went out to the diner up the street here and brought my paper with me and a pencil that had the lyrics on it. And while I was waiting for even driving out there, a line or 2 started. I had to stop at a convenience store, so I wrote down one of the lines at the convenience store, and another line came to me as I left the convenience store and got to the diner. So in the parking lot, I wrote another line down. Got into the diner, and 1 or 2 lines came, or there was some filler that came in. I kind of finished up the song while sitting in there eating my Western omelet this morning, and got back and tried marrying the 2 together. Then I had to add a chorus. I already had an idea, and I think it was something that I came up with overnight. If it was last night, tonight, I don't remember which day it was. It might have been this morning, in the wee hours of the morning. I came up with an idea for this I'm one sunrise away idea, and whatever I came up with wasn't necessarily, it's definitely not how I really wrote it. The lyric came out in the version that I'm going to sing for you. Oh boy. I'm one sunrise away. Oh gee whiz, how did the lyric go now? Now I'm one sunrise away from a new life on my own. So I think some of the lyrics throughout the verses have somewhat of a depressing feel to it because it's really expressing how I feel. But the chorus does reflect what I would really feel as more where I want to go in life as opposed to where I am in life. So, so the song itself does have a little bit of I don't know, not bipolar, but there's some opposite there to it. And bipolar might be the right word, yeah, because there's a manic side, a progressive side where you're energetic and doing things, and there's a depressive side where you're not doing anything. Not that I'm not a bipolar person. It's just an expression I'm using to make a point, really. Um, so that pick pattern that I came up with, well, I guess it's the same pick pattern, but the chorus itself is a little different because I go to a different chord and a different progression. Um, it requires a transition where my left hand has to jump a couple of frets up the neck, and it's not something that is in my muscle memory, so it's taking a lot of practice to get that down. Hopefully, at least well enough I can get the gist across, but the whole point of these videos is they're raw, not well edited, and just me being me and expressing where I am in the moment, and including songs and their writing. So the song is also requiring, since I wrote the lyrics separate from writing the music, it didn't have a melody. It just was, I don't know, a random poem. And to make a melody requires limiting the words and their structure. So I've been hammering these words. So I have one verse and one chorus that I'm going to perform a little bit rough, especially because I told you that transition where I jump up the fretboard's not going to, I don't know, maybe I'll nail it, but maybe I won't. But you'll see it when it happens if you're watching. But what I want to do first is just read the poem. The first verse and chorus will pretty much be the way I'm going to perform them. The second, third verse are not going to be, because I haven't started polishing them at all. So let me get this ready here to read to you. All right, I've got it on a couple different pieces of paper just because of sporadic writing. Like I said, the first part was just a couple lines that I had written a few days ago. Lying in my bed, staring out my window, as the sun goes down, the shadows melt. Feel I'm stuck, and I've lost another day. Fighting the good fight, get up each day and try again. I never said I was a king, a joker most of my days. Friend, lover, dad, pariah, outcast. Every time I played my role, I knew my lines every time. If there was ever any doubt about how to play the part, the writers were always quick to change a script. Actually, that was part of the second verse. I'm just going to go ahead and read the chorus. Now I'm one sunrise away from a new life on my own. Back to the second verse again. I stood atop my heart to see how far I could see. My foundation got kicked out from under me. I was awake for most of the dream. I should have known that was only make-believe. Now I'm going to the third verse. As the dogs go nuts because a leaf fell or, somebody's walking up the street, whatever. The sugar-coated candy was nice for a while. It lasts a moment or two, but always fizzles out. There's a brand new kingdom, one of my own choosing, one that I dreamed up from deep within my soul. Now I have to make the most of whatever time I've got left. There's no one so innocent as a man who's been reborn. And then I'm gonna repeat the first couple lines, and it'll be like a picture frame, or at least I think that's what I'm gonna do. Lying in my bed, staring out my window, as the sun goes down, the shadows melt. Feel I'm stuck, and I've lost another day. Alright, dogs, you're gonna have to shut up so I can sing for the video. Of course they're listening. Of course they're gonna behave. Ay, ay, ay. There's my guitar. So try to frame this here. So I've got. I might have to change. Get out of the way, photo bomber. Get out of the way. Get out. I have to move the video here. I gotta be able to see my words. I don't have all this memorized. Try to position the guitar so maybe you can see my fingers. Guitar players like to watch other guitar players' fingers. So it starts out with a capo, which changes the key, and it starts out using C shapes. Pretty basic finger picking pattern. Probably kids in the next yard over. I'm sure that's what they're barking at. Lying in my bed, staring out my window. As the sun goes down, the shadows melt. Feel I'm stuck and I'm lost another day. Almost feel like I should put them in the house here. They're just being assholes now. Alright, we'll edit this a little bit. Lying in my bed, staring out my window. The sun goes down, the shadows melt. Feel I'm stuck and I've lost another day. Find the good fight, get up each day and try again. Never said I was a king, joking most days. Dad, a friend, a lover, pariah, an outcast. Now I'm one sunrise away from living a new life again. Alright, a little rough, and a little interrupted from a couple of dogs that can't stop barking every time a leaf falls. But hey, that's life. That's what this video series is all about. Just getting it out there and being real. Do want to do a little toast. So what am I drinking today? It's called Puddle Pirate. I got this down in Chincoteague, my summer vacation. I went down that way for a few days. Spent a day in Virginia Beach, Maryland, and then went back down to Virginia to Chincoteague. My family gets together every year, and I've made one of these vlogs down there already. Wrote some songs down there. Wrote a couple of songs down there again this year. Nothing that I'm ready to perform. Maybe I'll revisit them and see if any of them are any good. So here's to all those who are struggling with mental health, and just know the struggle is real and you're not alone. So I'm glad I'm sharing this stuff, and I'm continuing to do my vlog. It means a lot to me to have something that I'm tracing my career and reaching out to people that might enjoy what I do. I hope you'll hit the like button, especially if you watch this whole thing. Please do. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. There's so much that I could be writing songs about or talking about, even doing a podcast and having it out there in that format as well. That's just more than what I'm able to take on or willing to take on at this point. And another learning curve and more investment, and the ROI isn't gonna match the time and money that I would get involved in. But it's all a potential that's just not tapped yet. So anyway, that's where I'm at this week, and I will talk to you again soon. Love and peace, y'all.